we have the final granite marker to install, but before we install it, we want to put a time capsule in there. And this will be the time capsule. See, it's like a little miniature coffin. Okay, inside it's nice velvet. And what's going to be inside there, Mayor Thompson is going to read what her letter that's going to go in there and explain it to you and what it means, okay, because this is a special place. After she's done that, you guys, if you want, I'm not twisting your arm, you can have your name in there too. I have a sheet there, and up at the top it says, I, the undersigned, and that means you, okay, I, the undersigned, hereby pledge never to use the N-word again, okay? Every time we work here with the kids, DIACON kids and other probation kids, I give them the same offer, and I have 7 sheets of signatures already that will go in here. Now, if you don't want to sign it, you know, that's fine, but here's an opportunity for you. And if you've already signed it before, if you want to sign again, that's okay. 100 years from now, when they open the time capsule, they'll wonder, geez, I wonder if there were twins here with the same name, okay? But anyway, this is what's going to happen. And Mayor Thompson, we have a box to put that in there, wrapped in plastic. She will put that in that hole there. And then she's going to put a trowel full of concrete. And then I want each and every one of you to come up and do the same, okay? So you're part of this. And at this point, I'm going to turn it over to Mayor Linda Thompson.
What's the name of the group?
DIACON.
Good morning, everyone. It's another great day in the city of Harrisburg. Dr. Lacoste has been a great friend of mine for many years. And he travels all up and down the Greenbelt, and particularly our Parks and Recs area, always looking for ways to make it better. Today, we are here for a very important moment. 5 years ago, Dr. Lacoste came up with an idea with myself as the leader of an organization that I was heading up called Love Ship that did job training, housing counseling, and youth advocacy. And we took a bunch of youth who had once made a detour in their life, and they ended up in a program that puts them back on the right track. These young men today are here again, and they're with an organization called DIACON, who has a group of leaders who are training kids how to lead a straightway life, to keep them out of trouble and to show them a new way of life. So they're here today, as Norm said, to honor what we're doing here today. This is Hollow Sacred Grounds. And the reason why we call them Hollow and Sacred Grounds, because one of our greatest leaders in America, named Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., summons the court of the conscience of America about her racism and her unfair and inhumane treatment to a particular group of people. As he began to evolve in his movements, there were 10 significant movements he entered into his life. And these plaques here represent those landmark places he went and the platform he used to articulate the issues that was decaying America. He went to Montgomery, he had the sit-ins, he went to Chicago, and of course, you know, the infamous trip he took to Alabama, which ended his life. And so this is Sacred Grounds because it epitomizes what he really stood for. And that was equality for every man, no matter what color of skin you are. Before the ending of his life, he moved into another evolution, and that was economic empowerment. And that every man should be able to have decent paying wages, to be able to have dignity and take care of his family and be productive in society. And that's pretty much what these kids are really learning to do, is to take the gifts that they've been given by God and to do good with them. So today they're a part of this good thing. So I have a letter that I, as Norm said, have written that will go into this time capsule box. And I don't know what this ground is going to be like maybe 50 years from now. Maybe they'll build some big, huge commercial office here. I would hope not. But if they do, and if they decide to pick up these concrete pillars and decide to dig down in them, they will find this time capsule and this letter inside of it that all of these kids have agreed to join us today, that they would never use the N-word again. So the message in the time capsule from me will read the following. Today, Friday, August 9th, 2013, I am excited to share my legacy on the occasion of the installation of the 12th and final Grant Night marker at the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial on the Capitol Greenbelt in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Since I do not know when the time capsule will be open, let me share a little bit about myself and the significance of this day. I am Linda D. Thompson, Mayor of the City of Harrisburg, this great capital of Pennsylvania. Elected in 2009, I am the first African American woman since the inception of our city, and our city has been born since 1860, and yet here in 2013, I am announcing that in 2009, I became the first African American and the first woman to serve as mayor of the city of Harrisburg. I served as the only person to win election after a mayor who held the office for 28 years. My administration inherited an unprecedented debt and financial crisis, which led to aggressive measures to ensure financial solvency for the city. Today, I am pleased in the event that marks the culmination of a 5-year journey of Mr. Norm Lacoste, who began with the young people from the Daikon Wilderness Center to create a memorial to the work of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Under the leadership of Mr. Lacoste, there are 12 markers representing the civil rights campaigns led by Dr. King. Each marker represents a milestone in the civil rights movement, from the Montgomery bus boycott in 1955 to the Memphis sanitation workers campaign in 1968. This project not only represents commemoration of the civil rights movement that Dr. King's work began, but it represents an opportunity, teaching moments about one of the most important periods in American history. Through time young people spent with Dr. Lacoste, he was able to share the history of the civil rights movement and the impact it made on establishing fairness and equity for African Americans in this country, while exposing them, yes, nurturing their appreciation for the nature as they worked on the Greenbelt. Today, in addition to laying the marker, there will be a burial service for the word nigger, quote unquote, or the N-word. Let me tell you why. One of the most important conversations of the day is the use of the word, quote unquote, nigger, or to be politically correct, the N-word. Young people in 2013 are exposed to conflicting conversations about this word that is on the hand, that is one of the controversies and hurtful because of the history of its use. On the other hand, it is often used by contemporary entertainers and youth quite loosely because they say the word has no sting for them. Over the journey with Mr. Lacoste, young people now understand the significance of that word, the negative and the hurtful history of its use, and the young people, as well as the more mature people, agree that the hurtful N-word should be abolished from our vocabularies, stamped out, dead, buried, never to be used again. The history of the N-word is often traced to the Latin word niger, meaning black. This word became used as the noun, Negro, black person in English, and the color black in Spanish and Portuguese. Regardless of the origin, by the early 1800s, it was firmly established as a derogatory name for African Americans in America. In the 21st century, it remains a principal term of racism, regardless of who is using it. Social scientists agree that the words like the N-word come from the 3 categories: disparaging nicknames, explicit group, and irrelevant ethnic names used as a term of degradation or meant to devalue individuals. Over time, racial slurs have victimized all racial and ethnic groups. The N-word symbolizes of many the hatred and disgust directed toward black Africans and African Americans. Historically, N-word defined, limited, made fun of, and ridiculed all blacks. It was a term of exclusion, a verbal reason for discrimination. Whether used as a noun, verb, or adjective, it strengthened the stereotype of the lazy, stupid, dirty, worthless nobody. No other American surname carries such so much purposeful cruelty. In honor of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., the heroes and sheroes of the civil rights movement, the ancestors of thousands of people of African descent, I join with you youth, Mr. Norm Lacoste, and the citizens of this great city of Harrisburg in the burial of the N-word. In years to come, when this time capsule is opened, the readers will understand that we, the heirs of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., took a stand, educated our youth, and rose above the destructive ideology of that fact. Refused to use a tolerate its use. I pray that truth, fairness, and the will to treat people fairly, regardless of the color of their skin, will be the standard of living for those who open and read this message. May God bless you, may God bless this great city, and may God bless America, and may we continue to live in peace and harmony and live out the true meaning of what love is all about. This comes from our originator, God Almighty, Sovereign God. And I sign this letter, Linda Thompson, Mayor of the City of Harrisburg. And now we'll move into the part of the program that will allow the kids to begin to take and begin to dump the wet concrete. And we'll put this letter in the time capsule now and sealing it up as a symbolic way with meaning, demonstrating our actions that never again will we use the N-word. And so we'll have the kids sign it. Okay. All right, guys, so this is official. We're burying the N-word from now until the day we die. All right? Okay. Hi, Damien. How are you this morning?
Good.
Now, you're with the DICON services, and tell me a little bit about what's going on there with you.
When I got sent there, like, I thought it was gonna be different. I thought I wouldn't like it, but I liked it. Like, everyone was nice to me there, and it's fun.
And so you're there to find a new way of life in terms of staying out of trouble. Is that when you mean you say that you thought you weren't going to like it and now you do like it because you have nice people? What are they teaching you there?
They teach us respect and how to put our life back together and what to do with our life.
Do you feel good that you went there?
Yeah, like, I feel like I've made up a new person in me.
Wonderful. So today we're here demonstrating our commitment to bury the N-word, which has been so devastating in America toward particular people. And young kids today are starting to feel like, particularly in our videos, that it's okay to use that word. You took a pledge and an oath today and signed your name that you would be one of those kids, youth, and a part of this generation today that will no longer carry that word out. What does that mean for you?
I don't like when people use it because I got some colored people in my family, and I don't like when other people use it. It kind of offends me too, and I just don't like. I'm not racist.
That's good. And so today you'll be able to go out and talk about it, and if you had to, what would you say to people that you did here today?
That I signed the youth, and just to bury it, and that's it.
Thank you so much, and we're so proud of you, and keep doing what you're doing, and I know you're going to do some great things in life. You know where you're going to go, what you're going to do?
I want to be a dentist.
Wonderful, absolutely. Well, if I'm 60, maybe 80, then I'll make sure I look you up as the dentist.
All right.
All right, Matthew is here. He's with the DICON services. Tell me about what you are doing at the DICON services and how you got there and how it's transforming you.
Well, I'm at the DICON service because I was caught in a stolen car, and it was just like, it was at the beginning of January when I got caught, but I just got on probation around like May, and my first week on probation they said I gotta go to the weekend program, and at first I was like, nah, I'm not going to. At first I was going to skip. I was going to go on the run, but then my brother, he was like, my brother went here and he got 97s every week, and that's real good. A 97 out of 100, like every time he came, that's real good. So he was like, nah, just go, because you know what I'm saying, it can help, you know what I'm saying, especially because I was always like, I'm always hyper and just don't know where to focus my energy. So he just said, go ahead. And I was like, I still didn't want to, but I just went. And the first weekend, it was all right. It was way different than it was 100% different than when I thought it was. Like, I thought we had to like use the bathroom outside and, you know what I'm saying, dig holes and then take a number 2, but it was nothing like that. So it was pretty cool. And the staff, they helped me feel welcome. But I still didn't, you know what I'm saying, know how to fix all my problems yet. But later on every weekend I came, like, I always learned something new, like every weekend. Either it was like new coping skills or just stuff about society, you know what I'm saying? It's stuff like that. But I'm always a leader. Everywhere I go, I'm always been a leader. But I'm only 15, so I'm a leader in the group. I'm probably one of the younger ones, but I'm known as the leader in the group. And it's just the staff.
So now you're taking your energy and leading people in the right direction.
Positive, yeah. And it's just like, from when I started from the weekend, I'm on like my 12th week, and I got 2 more weeks left, and I'm done. I can tell that I did some stuff, because when the staff redirects me, I used to get like, what? Nah, that wasn't me. But now I apologize. I won't do it. You know what I'm saying?
You own up to your mistakes, and then you look forward to making sure that you don't do it again. Wonderful. So let's talk about today. Some exciting things here today. You know, we are memorializing the great works of one of the greatest sacrificial leaders of the earth. When I call him Dr., I say he's one of the greatest sacrificial leaders of the world, and his name is Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And so much was done in his life, and his legacy lives on, and we are a part of his legacy, and his spirit carries on inside of us, and we're to carry it out. How are you taking what he did in his life and applying it here today? So how do you feel about today? Because we made a commitment here today. We all signed, and I wrote a letter into a capsule, and we buried it. And what does that mean to you? We buried the N-word.
Well, it means that I gotta stay committed. You know what I'm saying? I gotta be loyal to Martin Luther King and not say the word anymore. So I'm gonna try my best. I might slip up and say it, but I'm gonna just be like, I'm not gonna say it as much. I'm not gonna purposely say it. Only way I will say it is if it slips out. But hopefully by a month or 2 I won't be saying it. But it's a joy. Like, my name's in the box now. Hopefully, when they open up 100 years from now, they'll just, I don't know, see my name. Hopefully, they say something, because I always wanted to go down in history for something. So
Something or something good.
something good, something
But
good.
today is a part of that journey that you're being a part of something good. And so you're a part of a generation that often says that they use the word, the N word, as a term of endearment, that it's not used as its intended purpose. And its intended purpose was to degrade people, to demoralize people, to devalue people, to delegitimize people. When you use the word, how, in what context have you used that word?
When you say, yo, what's up, my N, it just like, what's good, my friend, like, what's good, someone that I'm close to, like you said.
So now that you know the true meaning, even though you created your own definition as this generation, you've made a commitment to bury it. Do you have another word you'll be using to replace
I'll
that
just say
word?
their name.
My love. Yeah, absolutely. My brother.
My brother, I can say that, my brother.
Absolutely.
hmm
And that can be used as a term of endearment too. So, well, thank you so much, Matthew. We are so very proud of you. Continue to use those coping skills and continue to take that leadership skill that God gave you, and use it for good. And we are expecting great things out of you.
All right,
And you will go down in history for great things.
Thank you.
Hi, Philip. Today's a great day. So you're with the DICON services, and tell me a little bit about how you got there and what's happening in your life now that you're there.
I got there because I was doing like wrong. Got put on probation. I was doing the wrong things on probation, like filling drug tests, not going to see my PO, and so she told me to do these 5 weekends and stay on house arrest to try to get out of trouble and And since I've been on the weekend, it's like, at first I thought it was gonna be terrible, like sleeping, because people that went there before was telling me like, you're gonna be sleeping outside. I'm like, why we gotta sleep outside? I just had all the wrong thoughts about the place. But now that I've been there, it's not like when you sleep outside, it's not how they make it seem. It's cool, and the staff are pretty good. They don't yell at you. They don't disrespect you. They try to help you out and make sure you're good. And it's a nice place. Like last week we went caving. That's something I wouldn't normally do, but I kind of enjoyed it.
So today is a great day. You made a commitment. You signed your name under an oath, and that is to never use the N word again. You learned a little about the N word and its intended in its origin, and the purpose of those who created it and why they used it to degrade people, to devalue people. Your commitment to burying that word today will take you where now?
It would take me to like probably a better vocabulary, like the N word. I ain't never really use it to make someone feel bad about themselves, but just saying the word, I mean, from what it came from isn't a good word, so now that I'm not going to be able to say it, just probably it's better for me, like, as a person, to get rid of that word in my vocabulary, so.
We're so very proud of you, and we know you're going to do great things, and we're so glad that you made a decision to go into the DICON services. I guess you really didn't have a choice based on your probation officer, but the fact of the matter is that you did it, and you had a different perception about it, and then you got in there and you experienced it, and it's doing good for you. And we just want you to just take the tools that your instructors are giving you, your teachers are giving you, and we're glad that you're really getting the love that you deserve, and that's making a difference in your life. So we're expecting great things. You know where you're going after here?
We're probably going back to the.
No, I'm talking about after you get out of the DICON services. I mean, you have your head on straight now. You know what you're going to start getting involved with to keep you on that straight path.
Yeah, like after these weekends, school start, but I think this is going to help me deal better with my teachers, like not really stream at like behave better in school and like stuff, behave better with other people. Like I don't really know these kids, but I don't have problem with none of them. Like we interact good, so it's gonna help me interact with my fellow classmates when school open.
So wonderful. That's so wonderful, Philip. Now we're going to be following you, and this is going to be on TV. So you're going back to New York, right?
No,
Delaware County. So we'll make sure that we put this on TV so that we can follow you in Delaware County and make sure that you are going to do great. And we are so very proud of you. We know you will. Thank you for coming to Harrisburg with us. Hi, Rob. How are you today?
Good.
Now you're in the DICON services program. How did you get there? And now that you're there, how is that helping you to transform your life from where you were before you got there?
Well, I got there for um, a couple of probation violations with drugs and house arrest. But now it's pretty much teaching me like to think before I do something and watch who I hang around and like decision making, things like that.
Wonderful. So today's a great day. We're here on hallowed and sacred grounds to memorialize and continue to memorialize the great work that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. did all around civil rights, human rights, and economic empowerment. We took the N-word and put a letter that I wrote in a capsule asking everyone to make a commitment to do away with the word N forever. You signed an oath indicating that you would join the trailblazers who have made that commitment. How does that make you feel today, and how are you going to take the message out to your other young kids today who feel that the N-word is not derogatory and they never use it in a derogatory way, but they use it as a term of endearment? So how will you now carry that message that, no matter what way you try to define it being a good word, it is a bad word, and so how will you then replace that word and teach others how to replace it?
Well, like I'm gonna tell other people, like if you don't know the history of it, like don't say it, cause I know some people now they still get offended of it and things like that.
Well, we thank you, and you're that generation that is about to embark on great things in America, and we're expecting great things out of you. And we're so very glad that you are utilizing the tools that they're giving you at that center to make yourself a better man and to go out and take the world by storm and do great things and help others. So we want you to be encouraged, and thank you for coming today and helping us bury the N-word. You are in a program called DICON Services, and tell us about how you got there, and now that you're there, how is that helping you become a great individual in life? And then we'll talk a little bit about your commitment today and burying the N-word and how that impacts you and how you're going to take that message going forward. So let's talk about DICON Services first.
DICON, I didn't have a great life. I was being mean to my parents, disrespectful. I wasn't being the greatest son I was. And, DICON gave me the chance to change my life. I was able to appreciate the little things in life, not just only for myself, but for my family. I'm able to do things and feel appreciative about it. I'm giving back to my community, not only and not taking from it, I'm also being able to be respectful and get respect back. My life is great. I can't ask for anything. I only have one, and I'm trying to make the best of it, and I'm so grateful for everything.
You're such a wonderful young man, and I can see that your teachers are really etching in your brain the value of you, because really kids need to understand that they are valued and that they have gifts inside of them, and it's just a matter of us as adults penetrating you and making sure you understand that and getting you back on track. So we thank DICON and you for your commitment to be partners in turning your life around. Today we are here to demonstrate great significance, and that great significance is about a commitment, collective commitment to bury the N-word. Let's talk about that and your commitment to signing your name, that the capsule with the letter inside of it written by me to say that we will bury the N-word, and discussing the great intent that it had and the significant impact it had on devaluing people, degrading people, delegitimizing individuals, and how young kids today take that word and they gave it its own definition, and while they say it's a term of endearment, it still is a word that was derived from something evil and something very dark. And how we today say that you don't have to use that particular word to edify and to express your love for someone. So how are you feeling today with being a part of that collective commitment?
I was also here last week, and I signed the paper, and whenever I signed the paper, I don't know, I felt like something was put on my shoulder. I have a certain need to take care of, and I'm just a kid and I can't do much about it, but, I hope other people can see that, this word, it's not a great word. We can, other than just saying that word, we can say, hey, what's up, brother, how's it going? It doesn't need to be in our vocabulary anymore. And
Absolutely.
I just feel like there are plenty other words to say other than that. So I feel great signing the paper and being a part of this.
You say you're just a kid. It's not much you can do. You've taken that bold step and you're doing something. And you don't have to be 50 or 60 or 80 to do something great. You can start where you are right now. And we're so very proud of you. And we're expecting great things out of you. And thanks so much for being a part of this. You matter to us.